If you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell icon to get the latest updates.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
Hello. So today we will just have a normal introduction about Workday, like what is Workday and what mainly we are going to cover, okay, and how mainly I am going to take the course moving forward, okay. I will just give you a brief idea like how Workday started, what are the other competitor companies in Workday that we have right now. Okay, so just we will discuss about the basic thing, and from the next one we will just go ahead and we will discuss about the other topics. Okay, you can ask me any doubts that you have. Okay, in the middle of the sessions as well. Okay, not for today, but for moving forward as well. There is no such restriction that you have to ask me doubts once I complete it, because I want like whatever doubts we have, it is sorted out over there only. Okay, if it's something different, I will let you know and we will discuss about that maybe in the end of the session. There might be scenarios where you have doubts which I will be covering maybe in the upcoming sessions. That will be a completely different thing. But if you are going through any topic and if you have any one of you have any doubts, okay, you can ask me at that point of time. Okay, so mainly from all of you I want to understand, anyone has any ERP experience or maybe any ERP software that you might have worked apart from Workday? Anyone from that background, or just everyone is new to this one?
I had some experience on PeopleSoft HRMS.
Okay, sounds good. I've seen many one moving from PeopleSoft to Workday in the recent time. Okay. Overall, how many years of experience you have in PeopleSoft?
Around 2 years.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, anyone else? Okay, so the one that uh, they have experience, okay, from any other ERP, because see, I also come from a background. I have worked in the past in SAP as well. Okay, but one thing I will tell you from my experience that what I have learned, yes, as we are aware, as I was aware about the other ERP, but things that happen in Workday, it's completely different. Okay, I have not worked in the PeopleSoft, but I have many of my colleagues with whom I have worked, they are from PeopleSoft, but it's entirely different. Okay, so many times in the initial stage, what I was doing is I was trying to compare with what I was doing back in the SAP, and that made me a lot of confused. Okay, so it's completely different one. So it will be better to understand Workday if we are not comparing things with that one. This is completely a new thing. Okay, so talking about Workday, Workday uh, is mainly a cloud-based HR management software system. Okay, mainly how Workday is different from the other uh, software system that we have. Okay, so the main thing is it's not like we have the Workday is the only one that is there in the market. Okay, yeah, Workday is in the cloud side. If we talk about other software system that we have, which is pretty much similar to Workday, there is the one that like SAP Success Factor is there, Oracle PeopleSoft is there. Okay, apart from that, in the recent time I have seen Darwin Box. Okay, uh, okay, so these are the latest one which are there in the competition. Okay, but yes, still in the market, Workday is the leading one. There is no one anywhere near like the number of projects or the number of uh, clients that is using this Workday HCM. Okay, Mainly, if we talk about this Workday, it was started back, okay, uh, with someone who was working mainly into the PeopleSoft technology. So this is how it got started. And what is the best advantage of Workday when compared to any other HCM software system that we have? So one of the simple one is like, I will give you an example right now. If I talk about uh, the earlier system that we used to have and why Workday came into the market and it just boomed like anything. What was the main reason behind it? So just give you an example. Okay, like earlier we used to have like PeopleSoft, the other like SAP was there, uh, Microsoft HCM was there. So there were so many other ERP software, but still Workday came into the market and it was just like anything. Okay, so the main reason behind it was like earlier, if you are going to set up anything related to Workday sorry, in the ERP HCM side, okay, mainly we need to invest so much in the initial setup. Okay, the cost, the maintenance, each and everything was very high. So Workday came with an idea, okay, just like a subscription model. Just imagine, like right now, every one of us, we use Netflix, Amazon Prime. So there are so many OTT that we have. Okay, we have other software as well, which we are using on a subscription model. So this is pretty much same. Okay, so like for an example, why mainly companies prefer this? Because if we talk about, if I'm a company, if I want to implement something, okay, related to my company, related to making things easier from the HCM perspective, okay, what mainly I will do? First of all, every company thinks about the investment that they are going to make and the amount that they are going to spend at the initial stage. Okay, so if I have two options, one is SAP, the normal one, and I have Workday, which one I will be choosing? So there are different scenarios, okay, by which we choose this thing. So in one of the scenario where I have to spend around few millions, okay, like in hundreds of million, if it's for a large company, okay, so what will happen is the initial setup, okay, will cost me so much. Whereas if I have an alternate option where I have to just pay like in maybe uh, just like a subscription, like for a month I have to pay this month, or maybe in a quarter I have to pay this much, so that becomes very easier from the company's financial perspective. So that is the main reason, okay, why the Workday is booming. And apart from that, there is one more thing, like in Workday, like in every 6 months we have updates. Normally we call it feature release, R2 feature release. Like in the latest, in this month only, the R2 feature has been released. So there are so many changes that is going on, okay, from the Workday perspective. Yes, so this is one of the major benefit that is there in the market right now. Okay, right now I'll be sharing my screen, okay, and I will discuss about the topics and everything. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Okay, so this is the LMS for which all of you will be having the access. Okay, here you can see all the modules or all the uh, topics that mainly we'll be covering. Okay, you can see all these topics. I think some of them was briefed, not some, like everyone was, like each and every topic was briefed in the demo session. So this all are the topics that we'll be covering. Okay, we will be starting from the basic navigation, okay, where we will mainly see like how the navigation works. Okay, like for an example, like if someone is using Facebook or Instagram, like how we use it, if someone is completely unknown with the UI that we have. Okay, because if we talk about the, if in case I have worked in SAP, but when I will come to Workday, the UI is completely different. Okay, so Initially, we will start with the basic navigation, like what is what. Okay, so we'll start from there. Okay, and moving forward, we'll discuss about how to create organization. Okay, this is one of the main topic, I would say. Okay, and this is the base of the HCM. Mainly, if we are good with the navigation and everything, apart from that, like how the organizations are built. Okay, because that is the base for each and everything that we are going to create moving further. Okay, so for an example, if your organization that you have created is correct, okay, you, the main part is that mainly. So mainly in the layman language, we call it departments, okay, or organization. But in Workday, we call it as supervisory organization. Okay, how we set up it? Okay, I will be briefing about some scenarios. I will give you a real-time example. Like I will give you a company. Okay, I will define like how to define the departments, how to define the supervisory organization. So I'll brief about that. I will share you some sample sheet. Okay, like if there is a company, how you can identify the total number of departments. Okay, so that is one of the main thing that we will discuss. Okay, apart from that, we will be discussing about staffing models. Staffing model is nothing but usually in Workday, it is of two types. Okay. Uh, After that, we'll discuss the various jobs and positions that we'll be creating. One thing that I want to highlight here, the nomenclature or the naming that we have. Okay. It will be different. Okay. But slowly and gradually, as we go ahead in the session, you will be able to understand what exactly it is. Okay, because if you talk about the client, they will be using the layman term. Okay, but when it comes of Workday, okay, it will be different. Like as I mentioned, like we are talking about organizations here. Okay, sometimes we call it supervisory organization. Okay, but if you talk about the client, they might call it department. Okay, they might call it a unit or anything. Okay, but in Workday, we'll be calling it as supervisory organization. Okay, our client will not be aware of the staffing models. Okay, they might not be aware of all these names. Okay, but what it is, how it works, in which scenario we choose which staffing model, that will be decided. Okay, apart from that, jobs and positions, it's pretty much straightforward as the one that we have. Okay, whatever you see in the screen, okay, like core concept and basic navigation, organization, staffing model, jobs and position, compensation. Okay, compensation is one of the main integral part. Okay, how we hire workers. Okay, how we configure the security. Security is one of the main thing here. Okay, if I just give you a reference, the security that works here, it's completely different. Okay, if I talk either about from PeopleSoft perspective or maybe from SAP perspective or from any other ERP software that we have, okay, the security is completely different. Okay, but security is one of the main part. Okay, and we will see like how to assign a security for any specific person. Okay, in which scenario, which type of security we have to create. Okay, and how, mainly the best part about the security is why we have, anyone, why we need to have a security.
So restrict someone, right? So make sure, like, someone, they don't access the data.
Yes, not restrict to someone.
Also
They,
give the access.
yes, like there are so many things that we have. If we are talking from the Workday HCM perspective, just to give you a brief example, like we all of are working in one company. Okay, I don't want you to have access of my salaries or anything. I don't want you to have access related what specific task I'm working on. Okay, you might be of different department, I might be of different department. So if in case if I am dealing with vendors or anyone, okay, there might be invoices, there are so many things that we can have. Okay, so each and everyone should not have all the access. So mainly, like for an example, like an employee will have access to a limited stuff, whereas a person maybe from HR manager or any manager will have a completely different access. A manager should have access to control or the manage the employees that he has with him. Okay, whereas the employee will have access only related to him, like whatever task he's supposed to perform. Okay, so in Workday we have the access. You all of you will be getting the tenant access. The word tenant is I will be referring each and every time. Okay, what is the meaning of tenant? Tenant is nothing but the, like there are different tenants that we have. Okay, like production, sandbox, preview, implementation. So a client can have a different tenants. Production is the tenant, okay, which is used in the real time. Like for an example, if okay, I will give you an example. Like for an example, you are using Netflix. Okay, so the one that you are using, okay, it is of the real time. Okay, like you might have seen, like if there is any app, okay, which you are using, it gets updated with time. Okay, but the changes that happen, like for an example, the company got to know about a bug. Okay, so they don't work on the real time one. I'm just giving you a reference. Don't go into completely into that specific application or the software that we are talking about. Okay, so we don't work on the bugs that we have on the live tenant that we have. Mainly tenant we refer in this Workday. Okay, there is a same duplicate copy that we have, okay, which is not used or on which nothing is being worked on. Okay, so mainly that is sandbox or the preview or the implementers. So mainly what the work of this tenant is, like for an example, we can do testing. Like if I want to test something or if I want to do anything, if I will be doing on the live application or maybe on the live software, okay, it can affect the things which is currently working on. Okay, so that is the reason we have another copies. Okay, you can say as a copies, mainly if we call it as a sandbox or preview or implementation tenant. Okay, all of us will be having the implementer access. Okay, for the tenant, implementer is the one who has almost every access. Okay, you'll be able to access each and everything. Okay, but whereas a normal employee will not be having access to anything. So mainly from the client perspective, you're working on any client project or anything, if there is any small bug, okay, for which it can be rectified, maybe, or if you want to just do a normal testing of that specific bug, okay, we go and choose the sandbox. I will go in detail. Okay, I will brief you in detail. I'm just giving an overview right now. Okay, like when we use sandbox, when we use uh, preview, and when we use the implementer. Okay, so sandbox is mainly used whenever there is minor changes that is needed. And the reason why we use only for the minor changes for the sandbox is because sandbox get refreshed every week. Okay, like for an example, there are so many updates that is going on in the backend. Okay, like in application perspective, it doesn't happen on a regular basis, but if I talk in terms of the Workday HCM or the software that we are using, it gets updated. Okay, there are changes that keep on happening in the background in between. Okay, so whatever changes that have happened, okay, in the live tenant, okay, that will be again, you'll get the latest copy on every Monday. Usually the tenant get refreshed every week on Friday. Okay, and the new one will be available, new version will be available in the sandbox. Okay, after that we have a preview. If we have anything, maybe there is some modifications that you're working, or maybe any new changes that you're working on, so the sandbox is getting refreshed every week based on the production tenant that we have. But if you're working on anything which is going to take more time or more testing, we do not prefer to go into the sandbox. The reason being, our changes or our work or the testing might get vanished once it is refreshed. So if there is anything which needs a longer time, we go ahead with preview tenants. Talking about the other tenant, implementation tenant. Implementation tenant is nothing but when any company, okay, is implementing any new thing or maybe any new module. Like right now, we have absences, time tracking, benefits, okay. But if a company is willing to introduce maybe talent and performance, okay, in that scenario, if they want to do the implementation and do the testing, and if suppose I'm implementing that talent and performance model, I will get in touch with client, I will know the requirement, okay, I will understand each and everything. Once that is done, that will be ready for testing. The client will test that on that implementation tenant, okay. And once everything is done, because this might be a small project, maybe a few months or maybe something like that, okay, so this is for that scenario, okay. But we can get it refreshed, like if a client or wants that, they want the preview to be refreshed, okay, or maybe the implementation tenant to be refreshed, they can get it refreshed, okay. So this is how, okay. And talking about reporting, so one thing I want to understand, what is the main reason why we need to have this ERP softwares for any company? What is the main reason? Like we will be configuring organizations, everything, like whatever we have. What is the main reason why we need to have this? Why to invest so much of money? So Amy, I will show you that, okay, whatever we are discussing. I am just giving you a brief idea right now, okay, like what mainly we will be seeing. I'm just discussing about the topics that will be covered, okay. And from the next session, each and everything is going to be on the tenant or on the work in the workday only. So today it will just be a more of a theoretical session, but moving forward, each and everything will be on the Workday HCM software, okay, like the navigation or the organization, everything. So anyone, like what is the need of Workday HCM, or what is the need of any HCM related, or what is the need? Because if we talk about Workday HCM, it's an ERP, okay, specifically in the HCM side. What is the need for any company? Anyone?
Hi, I'm Renuka.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll improve the efficiency,
Okay. In what terms?
um, like to streamline the company.
Yeah, that is
Mm,
true.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a cloud-based, right? Like, yeah, compared to PeopleSoft and other systems, right? It's a cloud-based and easy to use, easy to implement. It's cheaper than other software.
So I'm asking, what is the need of this software? Like Renuka
Anything like,
mentioned.
if like, hiring process or like, benefits, compensation for any purpose, they can use this.
Yes. So whatever you all are saying, it's correct. Okay. But see, whatever what is from if I talk about from the broader perspective, okay, yes, this is going to streamline the process. The hiring will be easy. Okay. Allotting the benefits will be easy, because if we talk about the early stage, how things used to happen, people used to maintain each and everything in the normal form, maybe in paper. Okay. After that they came to Excel. Okay. After that some of them used Tally. Okay. To make things in a streamlined process. Okay. So why we need to streamline this? Okay. So like for an example, if there is any details or anything that I want to know, okay, about my company, or maybe related to, I have a company, for an example, I want to see like what is the overall benefit or what is the overall revenue that we have. Okay. If in the normal scenario, if I want to get the data, if I don't have this setup for my company, I have to go to someone, he will take so much time. Okay. And then we will have the required data that we need. Okay. But in the recent time, we don't have that much time, I can say, or we don't want to spend that much time. We want things, we want the output in minutes or in seconds. Okay. So like for an example, the CEO of the company, okay, wants to check the data, like which about any employee, okay, or about anyone, okay, in the real time scenario. Okay. So a CEO can normally go and he can check, if you want to check the status of the employee, like how many active employees you have, how many terminated employees you have, or like as you mentioned about the benefits. Okay. Which all employees are getting which type of benefits. So for that we have this reporting. Okay. There are so many Workday delivered reports. Okay. Which anyone can run based on their requirement. Okay. And they can get the desired result within seconds. Okay. So reporting, if we want, like as I mentioned, like there are so many Workday delivered reports. So but that is not enough. In my company, for my company, I might need a different report which is not there, or if it is there, that is, I want to add maybe some other options or maybe some other fields. Okay. So how we can do that? Okay. So mainly we will see like when we will go ahead, like how to create the reports. Okay. If I talk about the other ERPs, the creating the report is pretty much complex. Okay. Especially if I talk about in the normal setup that we have, not from the cloud perspective. Okay. If I talk about the normal HCM, uh, creating a report, we need an ABAPO, or a normal HCM consultant can't do it. Okay. But it's completely different in Workday. If we can do it easily, yeah, there are some complex reports like matrix report where you need the graphs or maybe in that format. Okay. So we can get all the desired result. Okay. Business process, if you talk about business process, okay, so each and every ERP runs on the business process. Okay, any idea like what is business process? Like if you're working on any ERP, there is set of business process that we follow or on which the software runs. So what exactly is business process? Anyone, any idea?
So business process is kind of like anything, right? Approval process or something like that. Like, if we are hiring somebody, maybe like, HR person initiate that position, right? So then like, all the steps to like complete a hiring process. So entire thing is a business process. Or maybe even like, terminating employee, also like a business process, right? Kind of that, like, promotion is a business process.
Yes, correct. Like in simple term, for executing any task, like you mentioned, either hiring, termination, or maybe promotion, any task, okay, has different steps. Okay, like if I talk about hiring, okay, our employee doesn't get hired automatically or directly. Okay, there are some steps that we follow. So like for an example, if a requisition is there, okay, so first of all you might have seen there is a job requirement that gets released. Okay, once the job requirement is released, it is posted into different portals. Okay, after that the candidates come into picture. Okay, once the candidate is shortlisted, okay, he is interviewed. Once the interview is done, okay, based on the interview feedback, he is hired further. Once he is hired, okay, so from here the hire process will start. Once he is hired, like in which organization he is going to work, in which department he is going to work. Okay, after that, what is the compensation that he is going to get. Okay, so this all are the various process, you can say, or the various step that happen. Okay, so how we define that? Okay, in the similar way we have termination. It's not like that we terminate an employee directly. We remove the access. Okay, we settle the leaves that he has. Okay, so there are so many steps that goes on. So this is the overall business process. Okay, you said it correctly. And business process is pretty much common in each and every ERP system that we have. But yes, the functionality and how it works, it's different. Like for an example, if anyone is getting assigned to any organization, like as you were referring to approvals, okay, or if we talk about in terms of compensation, if we are defining a compensation for any employee, okay, so for that employee, we want it to be approved maybe from his manager or maybe from HR partner or maybe from HR admin. Okay, so how we set up that? We will see each and everything. Okay, after that we will see additional staffing transactions. Like for an example, if any company is implementing Workday, okay, if it has around 10,000 employees or 14,000 employees or whatever employees he has, okay, will not be hiring each and every employee manually. Okay, because it will take so much of time. And the other benefit that we have of this Workday HCM is, like if you are setting up SAP, normal SAP I'm talking about, or normal PeopleSoft, the time it takes, okay, to get the implementation and everything to be done, it's larger, or it's more, I can say, when compared to the setup that I can do in Workday. Okay, so as I was referring, like if we are implementing any Workday HCM for any company, okay, we are not going to hire each and every specific employee. Normally, we are not going to create each and every organization. We are not going to create all the job or maybe job profiles or positions. We are not going to assign the security one by one. Okay, for that we have EIBs. I'm just giving you a brief. As we go ahead, I will brief you about each and everything and how it is done. This is just more of the things that I am going to cover in the coming sessions. Okay. So we have EIBs for that. Mainly it is called EIB. So we can load the data. Okay. Whatever data we have, like for an example, a company has 40 or 50 or 100 of organizations. Okay. We'll just normally not going to create all the organizations. We will just load the data. So that for that, we have a specific format which can be downloaded from the Workday itself. Okay. We have to just fill the data and we have to just load it. We don't have to do the configuration or anything. Okay. The basic configuration will be done. Okay. But maximum thing at the initial stage, we can load the data. Okay. Like workers. If there are, as I was mentioning, like if there are 14,000 workers, we can get the details of all those 14,000 workers. Like if you want to load maybe terminated workers or retired workers, or maybe active workers, contract workers, everyone, we can load the data for all those workers. Okay. Security. In security as well, if we have security defined, we can load the security as well. Okay. So as you have access to this LMS, you can see like what are the contents that we are going to cover. Okay. And this will give you a brief idea like how our training roadmap will go moving forward. We will be starting from the core concept and the basic navigation. Okay. After that, we will move to organizations. Okay. How organization is set up. This is going to take the most time. Okay. How the supervisory organization is done. Okay. How we define it, how we define the number of supervisory organization, how we manage or how we assign the managers, how the organization are interlinked with each other, how the roles are set up. So this will be the base, as I was mentioning, and the important one. After that, we will go ahead with the staffing models. So like this, we will cover all this point during our entire training. Like in the additional staffing transaction, I will discuss about the EIBs. Okay. About the worklets, the other thing. Okay. So all the course content is here. Discussion board. For an example, our session is done. Okay. And you have any queries. Okay. Once the session is done, you are practicing something. Okay. So you can post it here. Okay. Once you post it here. So this is how the UI of Workday looks like. Okay. Very soon. Okay. I think you all will be getting the access for this tenant. Okay. This is what I was referring to. Okay. This is the preview tenant for which I have the access. Like as you can see, this is the DPT2. Okay. This is the name of the tenant. Okay. In the navigation session, we will talk about each and everything, like what all are this. Okay. Workday assistant, notification, inbox, profile. Okay. So menu. So we'll be discussing about all this thing. Okay. But this is how it looks like. Okay. How to navigate if you want to like normal. For an example, if you want to search any employee, like one thing that I will tell you is like the best part in Workday is it's like the search bar that we have for Google. Okay. We don't have to type each and everything. If we type at least few things, we get the desired result. Okay. It is pretty much same like that. If you're searching for any profile, you can use 2 alphabets of any word and it will give you the result. Okay, like for an example, I have just used, you can see this, I was searching for Logan McNeil. I have just used first 2 alphabet and the first 2 alphabet of her first name and last name, and I was able to get the result. Okay, so this is one of the best feature that you can see. You don't have to type each and everything. Like for an example, John uh, Betty. See, so this is one of the best feature that you will see. Okay, apart from that, there are so many things which we will discuss as we move forward. Okay, we'll discuss about each and everything in this one. Okay, from the next session onwards, we will be just be on the tenant and we will discuss on that part only. Okay, anyone has any doubt or any queries about Workday or anything that they want to ask? If not related to Workday, maybe related to ERP or anything.
Hi, I'm Renuka again.
Yeah,
I heard like only Workday certification can be done until only for the existing employees. So how we can do certification in Workday HCM?
see, if you talk about the standard HEP, Workday HCM certification that is done, okay, it is mainly done if you're working with any of the partner company that we have. Okay, like in the demo session, Sachin has mentioned, okay, regarding the same. So mainly if you want to give the Workday certification, you have to be associated with any of their partner companies or maybe customer. Okay, in the
Okay.
customer perspective, you will be getting the pro certification. Okay, and so
Okay.
that is how it works. Normally you cannot give the certification. Okay, but as it is, so working on a Workday, it's not mandatory. Like we have so many consultants, okay, who have been supporting different clients, but they do not have the certification.
Okay,
Okay,
still companies do hire
yes,
without certification?
yes. Like for an
Okay.
example, I will give you an example of like uh, in India, there is a company, TCS. Okay, they do not have a certified resource, but they have been supporting Workday. Okay, and neither they are a partner company. There are few partner companies like Deloitte is one of them, Accenture is there, okay, Elite is there. Okay, there are only few companies who has partnered with Workday, but they are not the only one who is working. And
Okay.
so that is the scenario. If you're working on this from the support perspective, uh, you can work without the certification as well. Or mainly
Okay.
you might have seen like there have been many companies, like if I talk example of uh, Deloitte or any other company. Okay, like for an example, if you have knowledge about it and if you join any company, they can get you through the certification. Certification is just mainly 3-week course that happens from the Workday perspective. There are different certifications that you can go through. Okay, that is mainly conducted by Workday. If you have a knowledge and if you join any because see, I have seen many consultants. I have many of my colleagues, okay, who came from a non-certification background. Okay, they just got a chance to work on Workday because there. If you talk about the recent time, latest time, okay, there are so many pending works that is from the from the Workday perspective, but we do not have that much consultant. That is the crunch that we have in My current company only, this is the benefit season that is going on. Okay, and the amount of the work that we do not have enough consultants to support it.
Okay.
So in this scenario, many companies, what they do is they train someone, okay, normally, and they guide them. So this is how things work, and they get their work done. But still, there is so much crunch that we have in the industry right now.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
But I would suggest, like, once you're going through this, go through, try to because see, I will be covering the topics, but there are so many things that you have. Okay, so the more you explore, the more you practice, the more you learn it.
Okay.
Okay, anyone, any other doubt?
So my question is, after doing the HCM, is it necessary or to do again different modules? Because in ZaranTech, I see different modules training too. Name it like talent and performance management and recruitment, advanced. What is it? Advanced.
Advanced compensation would be there.
Yes, advanced compensation. So after HCM, do I have to do or opt for different module, or can I apply on this Workday HCM? You know, learning HCM and
See, I will explain you that. And as you mentioned that you have not attended the demo session, okay,
yeah.
so I have covered all the things that was there up in the demo. It was more about introduction and the topics and how things are going to forward. That is what mainly it was discussed. I have discussed again today, okay, for
Okay.
everyone, because I saw some of them are the new one. Okay, and talking, coming to your question right now. Okay, see, HCM is the base, okay, that is needed. So for an example, if even you are going for a certification, okay,
Okay.
it is always preferred that you have the HCM certification first. Having a specialization is a different thing. You will get the specialization at the later stage. Like as you mentioned, like core compensation, or maybe absence, benefits, time tracking, or performance and management. So at the initial stage, like the core HCM or the base HCM, that is needed. Okay, and if you want any specific specialization, maybe in benefits or anything, because if you talk about Workday is has so many things. There will not be even a single person who will be knowing each and everything about the Workday.
Okay.
Okay, so but there are SMEs, or there are experts of specific modules. Okay, maybe from the compensation, or maybe from talent and performance, or maybe from payroll. Okay, and you might find consultants who have expertise in multiple modules. Like I work for multiple modules. I am not restricted to one module.
Okay.
Okay, so slowly and gradually as you work, like for an example, if you are working on this normal core HCM, okay,
Hmm.
you'll be saying things little bit related to benefits. You will be configuring the compensation. Okay, it's not like that you will not be doing that, but you will not be doing at the uh, top level. You'll just be doing
Proficiency
things
level.
at the basic level.
Okay.
Okay, so it is in that way.
Okay. Got it. It is just to increase the weightage of the resume.
Yes.
Initially, okay, got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Anyone?
Hello.
Anyone?
Hi, Raj.
Yeah, hi.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I was going to ask, the knowledge of Workday, can it be exported to other software? If I have the opportunity to use Dayforce, for example, or SAP, Can my knowledge of Workday help me through the process?
See, if you have the knowledge, or if you're moving, maybe if you want to move from Workday to some other technology in future, okay, that is always helpful. Okay, or if you're coming from any other ERP, yes, the things that will be for that specific software, it might be completely different, but you'll be able to understand like how the process works. Okay, like how hiring works. Okay, how termination works, what is the base of it. That is going to be pretty much same. Yes, the configuration part, few nomenclature or the naming thing, that will be changed. But if someone coming from relevant software experience, that is again very helpful. I can give you examples of number of companies who prefer if someone has an ERP experience on any of the software that they have worked, because they have already worked on one thing and they can easily grasp the concept and everything of the other ERP system that we have. It becomes easy. Might be in future, I'm just giving you a hypothetical scenario. Okay, if Workday, because so many companies has Workday now, if there's something new comes up in future, maybe Workday comes up with something which is pretty much new than whatever we have. Okay, then everyone who is working in Workday right now will move to that technology. So it's like that. Like earlier, we used to think SAP is everything. Okay, if you go back 15-20 years, okay, we never thought there can be something related to cloud or anything, but right now we have. And I being one of the example, I was in SAP, and after that I thought, no, Workday is something which is really good, so I moved to Workday. So that is how it happens. I hope I answered your query, or you want to ask anything.
That's okay. Thank you.
No problem. Anyone? Anything else? Okay, if no one has any questions, I think we are good for today.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Also, feel free to ask your questions in the comment section below, and we will reply to them at the earliest.